today, 12,600,833 as per today, Kenyans have been transitioned to Social Health Insurance Fund. Out of that, those who are in NHIF are 9,640,523, and those who are newly registered are 2,900,323. This is the current figures. And the members, I can confirm that as you will find that messages are coming to your phone where without you even having done anything. You are among those 9,600,000 that have been transitioned from NHIF to Social Health Insurance Fund through the system without you doing anything, after they cleaned the system. The system initially had about 12 million Kenyans, but about 3 million people do not exist in the Kenya National Registration Bureau. So it is only after cleaning the fingerprints that everybody, when you have your key in your ID, you will find that now you don't need to take your fingerprints, because what the system they have now is that with your ID, they can access your fingerprints within the Kenya National Registration Bureau. I want to assure Kenyans outside there and the honorable members in this house that no Kenyan will be denied the services. I think the unfortunate information outside there is that it is the ministry is not doing enough, but I know they are trying their best. But we want the information to reach to every Kenyan that if you are a paid up member on the NHIF, you will automatically transition and your services will not be interrupted. So, and Honorable Unda is a witness, because when we called the CEO Kenyatta, he has personally gone to see the patient in that ward in bed 7. I think it was bed 7, bed 9 in the Jude ward. Yes, so he's personally gone to see the patient, and many of those within the hospitals, they should not worry about paid up members who are in the NHIF. They have now been transitioned, and the Social Health Insurance Fund is doing its best to send messages so that you get messages to know that you are up to date. And they have also created an emergency line, which is a toll line, which they can be able to respond to any questions when you have challenges. We know this is a teething problem, but the ministry is up to its position to make sure that no Kenyan is denied services wherever they go, and they are paid up members. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Majority Leader, your Thursday statement.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision Standing Order 44.2a, I rise to give the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Tuesday, 1st October 2024, to prioritize business for consideration during the week. Honorable Speaker, as you are aware, this morning the House resolved to suspend its sittings of Thursday, 3rd October 2024, so as to allow administrative arrangements necessary to facilitate the program for public participation on the special motion for the removal from office by impeachment of His Excellency, the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. Consequently, the House will reconvene on Tuesday morning. Honorable Speaker, with regards to business scheduled for Tuesday next week, members will note that the House will convene from 9 a.m. to commence consideration of the special motion on the proposed removal from office by impeachment of His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. In line with the procedural motion passed by the House, it is expected that during the afternoon sitting, the House will sit until conclusion of the debate on the special motion. Honorable Speaker, In view of the foregoing, I urge members to be present and actively participate in this vital constitutional process. Your insights and contributions are critical, and together, Honorable Speaker, we can ensure that our deliberations reflect the collective wisdom, values, and aspirations of our society. Members, let us come together not just as legislators, but as stewards of integrity and future of our motherland. A robust discussion will allow us to consider various perspectives, ensuring that our final decisions are well informed and representative of the views of our constituents. As representatives of the people, it is our solemn duty to engage in discussions that uphold justice, equality, and the democratic principles that define us. Notably, Honorable Speaker, this matter transcends party lines and speaks to our commitment to good governance, accountability, and fidelity to the Constitution and the rule of law. Indeed, as the Indian author and philanthropist Rohin Nilekani once said, we cannot be mere consumers of good governance. We must be participants, and we must be co-creators of good governance. I end the quote. Honorable Speaker, having said that, in accordance with the provisions of Standing Order 42A, 5 and 6, I wish to convey that the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration is scheduled to appear before the House on the afternoon of Wednesday, 9th October 2024, to respond to the following questions. And just like the Honorable Speaker told the member for Mwatate, this is the time that probably he needs to bring those questions. And that day, on the Wednesday, 9th October 2024, the first question by private notice will be question number 008 of 2024 by the member for Lugari, the Honorable Nabwera Nabi, MP, regarding circumstances that led to the death of two brothers, Mr. Bonventure Ounza of ID number 380-63032 and Mr. Callistus Apuike of ID number 41-444-793 by police based at Santo Police Station. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, is the question by private notice number 11 of 2024 by the member for Moyale, the Honorable Professor Jaldesa Guyo Wako, the gynecologist, regarding the status of the investigations into the shooting of Ms. Kabale Galgalo Guyo of ID number 3976-3161 around Kangemi Mosque in Nairobi County. The next question is question number 271 of 2023. This is a 2023 question, Honorable Speaker, by the member for Laisamis, the Honorable Joseph Lokuton, MP, regarding staffing of births and registration offices in Laisamis and Loyangalani sub-counties. Question number 02 of 2024, Honorable Speaker, by the member for Matungu, the Honorable Oscar Peter Nabulindo, MP, regarding the surge in cases of livestock theft in the Western region and in particular Matungu constituency. Another question, number 3 of 2024, by the member for Kinango, the Honorable Gonzi Rai, who I saw around here, is regarding the deployment of the contingent of General Service Unit GSU to Kazamoyo Village in Kwale County. Question number 5 of 2024 by the member for Bahati, the Honorable Irene Joki, MP, regarding the replacement of the vehicle with registration plate number GKB 340J assigned to Deputy County Commissioner for Nakuru North Sub-County. The other question, Honorable Speaker, is question number 37 of 2024 by the member for Isiolo South, the Honorable Tubi Budi, MP, regarding the special vetting of ID cards applications carried out by the ministry for the residents from northeastern and other border regions of the country. The next question is question number 45 of 2024 by the member for Fafi, the Honorable Yakub Farah, MP, regarding actions taken by the government to enhance security in Fafi constituency. The next question, Honorable Speaker, is question number 48 of 2024 by the member for Emuhaya, the Honorable Omboko Milemba, MP, regarding the security of the non-local teachers in Mandera County and border northeastern regions. Again, on the cards, Honorable Speaker, is question number 050 of 2024 by the member for Kilome, the Honorable Thaddeus Zambia, MP, regarding the criteria for gazettement of the Nzai sublocation in Makueni constituency. Honorable Speaker, next is the question number 59, 2024, by the nominated member, Hon Irene Mayaka, MP, regarding statistics of fully operational gender desk equipment in police stations in the country to deal with gender-based violence in the country. Again, Honorable Speaker, there's a question number 123 of 2024 by the member for Yatta, the Honorable Robert Basil, MP, regarding the omission of Yatta Sub-County Administrative Unit from the Gazette number 1766 of 14 February 2024. I'm coming to the end, Honorable Speaker, and the second to last question is question number 124 of 2024 by the member for Kiambu, the Honorable Mashua Waithaka, MP, regarding delay in issuing national ID cards within Kiambu constituency. And lastly, Honorable Speaker and members, is question number 126 of 2024 by the member for Sigor, the Honorable Peter Lochakapong, MP, regarding the number and contractual details of the employees recruited by the United Nations High Commission for Refugees, UNHCR, to the Department of Refugees. Honorable Speaker, Tuesday is the day we reconvene. Honorable Speaker, we have a long agenda, a big agenda for that day, and as members depart for public participation, I wish them journey masses and good public participation. And therefore, in conclusion, Honorable Speaker, the House Business Committee will reconvene on Monday, 7th October 2024 to schedule business for the rest of that week. This is Monday, not Tuesday, Monday 7th, Honorable Speaker. So members of the House Business Committee be notified so that we'll schedule business for the rest of the week. I now wish to lay this statement on the table of the House today. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and good luck.
Thank you, Honorable Owen Bayer. Honorable members, we'll now go to questions. The Honorable Aden Bare Duale, Minister for Environment, or Cabinet Secretary for Environment, Climate Change, and Forestry, is already in the House. Welcome, Waziri. We'll now go to questions. In the interest of time, try to be as precise and concise as you can. Members, I'll only allow one joyrider on each question. No more than that. We'll start with the member for Alego Usonga, Honorable Samuel Atandi. You look surprised, Atandi?
No. I'm not surprised, Honorable Speaker.
Yeah.
I'm aware that the Cabinet Secretary for Environment is supposed to come to
He's
respond to my
already here.
question. Yes.
So go ahead and ask your question if you are ready, or we move to the next.
Honorable Speaker, let me get the question. In the meantime, you can go to the next question. I don't have the question ready.
Question 105 of 2024, member for Chepalungu.
Oh, thank you.
Victor Koech Mandazi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I have the question.
Mandazi, you are... go back to the bar and bow and come back.
Honorable Speaker, I'm ready.
Go ahead, Honorable Atandi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, my question is number 304 of 2023.
Yes.
And the question is, one, could the Cabinet Secretary explain why the National Environment Management Authority, NEMA, issued a license for the construction of residential properties along Othaya Road, Kileleshwa on LR number 33734/338, despite the potential environmental impact caused by the developer? Number two, state why NEMA permitted the construction of the said building to proceed without public participation. Number three, explain why the developer has been able to continue constructing the said illegal structures even after repeated requests and petitions from concerned residents. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, it's a privilege to come back to this house, which is my second home, a house that I have a lot of respect for and members that I have a lot of regard for. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Atandi asked a number of questions. In the interest of time, Speaker, I want to state that my ministry and agencies that are under me, like NEMA, are fully committed to upholding the Environmental Management and Coordination Act, Cap 387, and all its regulations as passed by this House, with the primary objective of ensuring environmental protection and sustainable development. Mr. Speaker, let me say it for record, that environmental protection for this generation and the future generation is found in the preamble of the Kenyan Constitution. So it's not even an article of the Constitution. There are many articles, but the preamble of our Constitution talks about protecting our environment for this generation and the future. Coming to the specific question, in the case of the proposed residential development, LR number 3734/338 on Othaya Road, Kileleshwa, allow me to note that the following why NEMA issued a license for the construction. The said developer, named Dettiland Company, sought to construct a 314-story building consisting of 224 residential units. Given the scale of this project, Mr. Speaker, it was classified as a high-risk undertaking as defined by Section 58(1) of MCA as passed by this House, and Legal Notice number 31 of 2019. As per the law, any high-risk project, Mr. Speaker, is required to undergo a thorough environmental impact assessment process to assess if there are any environmental impacts. An environmental impact assessment, Mr. Speaker, was conducted through a NEMA-registered EIA expert called Neolife Consultants Limited, and the report was submitted to NEMA for review and ultimate to give a license. The reference number of that environmental impact assessment, Mr. Speaker, is attached, and the member has. Same, Mr. Speaker, NEMA reviewed the report, found it adequately addressed all the potential environmental impacts, supported by a detailed environmental and social management plan. The Nairobi City County, Mr. Speaker, or the Nairobi City County government approved the same development plan, and then NEMA issued the environmental impact license number NEMA EAA PSL 8261 on 7th July 2020 with conditions of sustainable development and sound environmental management of the proposed project, which to date NEMA, under its obligation, does continuous monitoring. Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, I wish to affirm the Ministry's dedication to safeguarding the environment while balancing the need for sustainable development that contributes to Kenya's socioeconomic growth. our action remains aligned with both the national and international environmental standards. Honorable Speaker, the second question that the member have asked my good friend Honorable Atandi was state the reasons why NEMA permitted the construction of the said building to proceed without public participation. Honorable Speaker, on the onset, allow me to know that public participation is a critical and a principle in our Constitution. It is also a very integral part of any environmental impact process, assessment process, as mandated by Section 59 and Section 60 of the Environmental Management and Coordination Act, and above all, Regulations 19 of the Environmental Impact Assessment and Environmental Assessment Regulation 2003, passed by this August House. For this project, I wish to confirm public participation, Mr. Speaker, was conducted as follows, and it's there in the documents that I've provided to the House and to the member. NEMA dispatched copies of the Environmental Impact Assessment Report to 9 lead agencies on the 4th of March 2019 for sectoral review and comments as required by Article 20 of the Environmental Impact Assessment Regulations. These entities include the Ministry of Environment ourselves, the County Physical Planning of Nairobi, the Water Resource Authority, Kenya Urban Authority, Roads Authority, National Land Commission, Public Health officials of Nairobi County, Nairobi City Water and Sewerage Company, and finally Nairobi County Director of Environment. NEMA also, Mr. Speaker, had issued a proponent with a notice of publication on the 1st of March 2019 to invite the public to make oral or written comments on the Environmental Impact Assessment Study Report. It was captured in all the daily papers. In the Star on Wednesday, 13th March 2019, again on the Star on the 20th March 2019, on the Kenya Gazette notice number 2531 of 15th March 2019, in nearly about 4 radios, 4 classified adverts per day. NEMA received again varied public comments as detailed in the attached. Consequently, a public consultation meeting was held on the proposed site on the 27th of June 2019 with the participation from 62 residents. The minutes of the public consultation, Mr. Speaker, are attached. And that's why this House is going on a recess tomorrow to do public participation. It is central to our Constitution. Nobody can avoid it. Neither can NEMA has the luxury to avoid it. A major concern raised by the residents was conformity to zoning policy of the area and the number of floors, connection to the sewer. All these were addressed, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me make it very clear as the new minister to this docket. Zoning, sewerage, all these are functions of the county government of Nairobi. And the Senate has a role to call the governor or his officials to the same. Speaker, in the view of that, I have just highlighted there was indeed meaningful public participation and information disclosure of the project. Question 3, Mr. Speaker, was why the developer has been able to continue constructing the said illegal structure even after repeated requests. Mr. Speaker, the construction has continued despite several petitions by some of the concerned residents. I am indeed aware that the residents have lodged petitions with NEMA and other government bodies. Residents were also advised to appeal for a tribunal independent evaluation on NEMA. Speaker, this House, in its mandate in making laws and regulations, has given the citizens recourse to appeal. If you are not happy with the NEMA decision, then you go to the NEMA Complaints Committee. If you are not happy, then you go to the independent environmental tribunal chaired by somebody of a standing of a judge of the High Court. And reputable institutions like Law Society of Kenya, Mr. Speaker, have their representation. So the members were advised to go there, and the Speaker, since there was no court order, nobody has gone to the tribunal, nobody has gone for an independent evaluation of the NEMA decision. NEMA and the other agencies continue to monitor with the compliance with the environmental impact assessment. Mr. Speaker, finally, I wish to reiterate the following. The ministry through NEMA remains committed to ensuring all full compliance with the Environmental Management and Coordination Act and its regulations as passed by the House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. I think we're going to give one joyrider. Let me see. The Honorable Gitonga Murugar, member for Tharaka Nithi. Oh, you're on the intervention button. The Honorable Zamzam. Oh no, she's pulled it out. Yes, I was going to allow you after one joyrider. Then you can respond, but we can go to you directly if there are no people. Proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let me say that the response by the Cabinet Secretary appears satisfactory. And given that also is new, I don't want to put a lot of pressure on him. The only observation that I want to make based on his response is that it appears these matters will be dealt more by the county government of Nairobi County Government is the one that should take a lot of blame on this matter, because the initial concern was that that area is zoned and the buildings that are coming up are beyond the guidelines of the particular zoning. So it means that the Nairobi County Government has allowed these structures to go up beyond the guidelines of the zoning. But what I wanted to ask the minister is that these buildings are coming up and issues like drainage, the sewerage systems of the area have not been improved or expanded. Don't you think that as the minister in charge of environment, this is something that should concern you, that structures are going up even to 20th floor, yet these structures are also important. So are they not going to affect the environmental aspects of the county? And going forward, things like flooding, you saw what happened during the recent flooding. One of the issues that was raised is that we are not respecting the environmental orders. So I wanted to ask you, the minister, because you are new, and this is something that I know you are capable of addressing, can you tell us how you are going to address these concerns? Because that's the biggest problem. The other issues, as you have explained, we are going to see how they can be addressed by the county government of Nairobi, because it appears that the county government of Nairobi is also supposed to ensure some of this compliance. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. I think we can go to the next question. Honorable Luku, the time has gone up for that. Your member for Chabalungu, you may go to your question, 105/2024.
Yeah, thank you, Speaker. I would wish that the Cabinet Secretary before us today, I would like to read my question as follows. Could the Cabinet Secretary confirm the presence of Lalela Company Limited and Naraitoi Company Limited that are engaging in large-scale irrigation-based farming along Amalo River that is bordering Chepalungu constituency? Number two, confirm the allegation made by the residents of surrounding villages, including Chemengwa, Kinyanga, Kobalwa, Kosia, Kamosiro, Nogirwet, and Kamongil area that the said companies are engaging in cloud seeding activities, resulting in alterations to the local rainfall patterns, with some villages experiencing a complete lack of rain throughout the year, despite other areas of the constituency receiving rainfall.
Number 3, Speaker, state the steps that the ministry intends to take to address the concerns raised by the affected areas residents. Thank you, Speaker.
Cabinet Secretary, you may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Just to, if you allow me, Honorable Atandi has raised it, the constitutional powers between the two levels of government. Zoning, waste management, pollution, whether it's air, sound, is a function of counties. But I want to assure this House, now that I'm the Minister for Environment, we will not issue a license. We will be the ones. If we don't issue, nobody can build. And I want members to help us and help the country. People are building flats that the people who live in those flats, in those residential areas, have no access to light, they have no access to fresh air, and you can imagine, if you have young children, those children will not grow. I'm not a doctor. Dr. Pukose and the doctors who are sitting in this house and those who are listening will agree with me. But I have given NEMA strict instructions that is not going to be business as usual. On Honorable Koet, Madam Deputy Speaker, I want to confirm that there is the existence of these two companies, one in Narok West constituency bordering Chapalungu constituency. And I also wish to confirm that these companies practice large-scale farming using irrigation. The second question, Madam Speaker, was to confirm the allegations made by the residents of those 5 or 6 villages that the said companies are engaged in something called cloud seeding. Madam Speaker, on the second question, if you allow me, let me, they engage in cloud seeding. Before I proceed, let me try to respond to this question and allow me briefly to explain to the House what cloud seeding is all about. Cloud seeding is where weather modification technique that changes the amount or the type of precipitation from the clouds in terms of rain. There has been research done aimed at establishing whether this is viable, but all studies have shown that the input expenses are far more than the benefits. Madam Speaker, the ministry is not aware, through our meteorological department, that such entities are engaging in cloud seeding activities within the said locality. On the alteration of rain patterns in the area of interest, Madam Deputy Speaker, data available to us from the neighboring Longisa automatic station owned by Kenya Meteorological Department indicates that there has been an increase in the annual rainfall in that area totals as from 2018 to 2023, and I have attached the figure and the maps to this document, which I have shared with the members. Secondly, Madam Deputy Speaker, the member asked to allow me to highlight that what the ministry, through the Meteorological Department, has done. The Meteorological Department, the Kenya Meteorological Department, has recently installed automatic weather stations in Chapalungu constituency and all its environments. However, specific variability in the specific locations could not be established due to lack of data. Our ministry and our department will continue monitoring the data for analysis to draw adequate information, and I want to assure you, once we make a policy formulation, we will forward to address this issue, and we will not allow our communities to be aggrieved. Madam Speaker, the third question was the steps the ministry intends to take to address the concern raised by the affected residents. Honorable Madam Speaker, on the last question, allow me from the onset to commit and to state our commitment towards protecting the interests of our local communities. To this end, in addressing the concerns of the affected residents, I commit to do a follow-up with the Ministry of Water and its agency, the Water Resource Authority, to ascertain the obstruction of water from both River Amalo and River Nyangores, as mentioned, and we will report back to this House in very, very due course within 2 weeks. Further, going forward, we hope that by the enactment of the meteorological bill, which is before the House, the meteorological department will have the powers to regulate weather-related activities in the country. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Before I allow one interjection and then the owner of the question to confirm whether he's satisfied with the answer by the Cabinet Secretary, allow me first to welcome very special guests who are seated in the Speaker's Gallery from Kisii County. Mr. Moega Onchweri, Mrs. Moega, Wakili Wycliffe Moega, and for Claire Ombati. And I think I'll allow the Honorable Osoro, Sylvanus Osoro, to welcome them on behalf of the National Assembly. He will explain.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I had to make this very, very special request, which is again unprecedented in this House, to welcome very, very special guests to me, because Mr. Moenga Onchweri picked me from the streets and took me to school upon the demise of my parents. This is a very special guest to me. It's a very emotional thing to me, because when he actually came where somebody had given me a small casual job of welding after I had dropped out of school, he picked me and decided to take me to school, back to school, educated me until I finished. And ironically, one thing that is very special, Honorable Speaker, is that this is the first time that Mr. Moenga is stepping his feet in Parliament at 78 years old. And when I made a request to this House, Honorable Speaker, and to the leadership of this House, they agreed to have them sit there so that they see what we do in this House and to see their product. But again, on the flip side, Honorable Speaker, I got surprised today when I welcomed Mr. Moenga that he also knows the Honorable Member for Kisii County, the Honorable Doris Donya Aburi. He also educated Honorable Donya Aburi, because they actually happen to come also from the same village. So he's a very, very special person. His dream to become a member of Parliament years back did not materialize for Nyaribari Church constituency, but I've just told him that by me being member of Parliament and Honorable Aburi member of Parliament is actually a double victory. So, and that is why I made this very special request. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Okay, thank you. Yes, the Honorable Donya Deris will give you 3 minutes.
Madam Speaker, the beauty of Samaritans. I'm always talkative, but when I look at them, today I'm very humble. I've eaten a lot of vegetables, because parents and Samaritans are the best thing that God can give. You can even attest, Honorable Soro, you can think he was reading the Bible. He's also come because the parents, Madam Speaker, have done to us. Today we can't even Gachagua anybody. We are just good. We are very obedient. And please, honorable members, M-Pesa your parents, please. Parents believe girls are the one who give them food, who send them M-Pesa, unlike the boys. Now we change it, honorable members, the male. Please, those who are here today, send your mom some M-Pesa and make it 10,000 and above. Even CS, Honorable Duale, I will come for 100,000 from you. I send to my mother. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Okay, now thank you for the digression. I think we can proceed. I'll give one honorable member to add their question, Honorable Zamzam, member for Mombasa, and then we will go back to the member for Chepalungu to confirm if you're satisfied with the answer.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi niweze kumshukuru mzee kwa kuweza, mzee Mwenga, kwa kuweza kulea hawa vijana wawili. Leo ni wabunge ambao sisi tunawacelebrate hapa ndani ya hili bunge. Ana mzee marehemu Yusuf Haji, na yeye pia aliweza kunisomesha, na ndio maana mnaona jambo lolote likija hapa la Nurdin Haji, yule ni ndugu yangu, lazima nitampigia upatu. Na sisi ambao tumetoka katika familia maskini, Mheshimiwa Spika, tukasomeshwa, tukanyanyuliwa na wale ambao wanatuonea huruma. Siku zote sisi huwa na huruma, na ndio maana waona turudi kwenye jamii na tuwazidisha upendo kwa wale ambao hawawezi kujimudu katika masomo, na sisi pia tuweze kuwasaidia. Mheshimiwa Spika, nafikiri vile nimepata fursa kabisa nimuulize waziri wa mazingara, na niweze kwanza kumpongeza kuja katika bunge. Asante sana bwana waziri, tunakushukuru sana. Mimi nilikuwa nataka kuuliza, umesema kuwa kuna haya mambo ya mazingara ya sewage na nini ni mambo ya county, lakini hata tukiangalia Mombasa county, Mheshimiwa waziri, ukiangalia pale Chuda, maji taka sewage inaingia ndani ya bahari, na imekaa miaka mingi sana. Wale watoto ambao wanakaa kule katika sehemu zile za slums wanaenda wakiogelea kule. Mheshimiwa Spika, ni kwa sababu watu wamejenga majumba zao, za sewage zitakwenda vipi? Zote wamezielekeza kwenye bahari, Mheshimiwa waziri. Kwa hiyo mimi nakuomba kama unaweza kulifuatilia. Umesema ni akaunti, lakini mimi nakusihi, maana yake wakati mwingine barua ikitoka kwa waziri, pengine jambo leza likafuatiliwa likafanywa kwa wepesi. Mheshimiwa waziri, kisha nauliza Mheshimiwa waziri, unapanda miti ya matunda. Mimi kama mama Mombasa County nimezunguka nikaangalia, miti ya nazi imekuwa chache sana ndani ya pwani, na kuomba kama mama Mombasa utuletee mili tuweze kupanda kama matunda na miche ya maembe, iwe ni chakula na pia itaweza kuleta mvua. Asante sana Mheshimiwa waziri.
Before I allow the Cabinet Secretary to respond to her brief question, let me allow the member for Chepalungu. I think, Honorable Mugambi, I think the Speaker already ruled on this, that it will be one rider question and then back to the owner of the question.
It's okay. Thank you, Speaker. While I appreciate the response from the CS, I would like to make him aware that it's also nice for him and his team to visit these particular villages that I talked about, because I'm the member of parliament and I know what happens. In a particular situation, I was attending a funeral in a village called Kabalwa. It was raining at Sigor town, but upon reaching Kapalwa, it was dry, or it was dust everywhere. And one MC by the name Henry from Kabalwa village really challenged me that whenever there is rainfall, whenever they see signs of rain from these particular villages that I mentioned in this particular question, the person who does irrigation or farming from the neighboring village, these particular companies, he told me in black and white that he normally comes out, shoots the cloud. Those who are his local words. He simply told me that he normally comes out, shoots the cloud, and the next moment, there is no rain in these particular villages. That's why, as a member, I took it upon myself to raise the question on their behalf. And equally, it is worrying to the effect that this particular data that you gave out, that these particular villages have seen an improvement in rainfall, it is totally wrong. I want to say this particular data is wrong as far as I am concerned, because I know these particular villages. The only time that these villages have received rainfall is when they see benefiting from the rainfall, because it's dry. It's really dry when there is no heavy rainfall from the country. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Cabinet Secretary, do you have a rejoinder?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. To the member for Chepalungu, Chepalungu is a very great constituency, led by a great man called Isaac Ruto, who I have a lot of respect for. I want to assure you, after I leave here, please give me your number when you are ready. The Kenya Meteorological Director General and all our researchers will go with you, visit with you all the villages we work for, and they will come back to us. So you tell me when you are ready, because I want you to be there. So that, secondly, to my sister, Zamzam, Honorable Zamzam, I agree with you. I'll talk about this matter in a later question. Agree with you. I'll talk about this matter in a later question that Honorable TJ Kajuang has raised. How sewer in our counties are dysfunctional, how there's poor management of the sewer manholes, how there's illegal dumping on our water bodies, the seas, the rivers. So I think when I reach that question, Madam Speaker, I think I'll give a more comprehensive statement on the position countrywide. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Honorable members, let's move to our third question, number 106 of 2024, by the Honorable Timothy Wanyonyi, member for Westlands.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I want to congratulate the Minister for his new assignment in the Ministry of Environment, because the Ministry of Environment, Madam Speaker, all over the world is now the in thing. Everybody's talking about climate change. Everybody's looking at how we can rescue our planet. And I'm sure Honorable Duale is up to the task. And we know he has passion for anything he does. So, Madam Speaker, allow me to ask my question. Question number 106 to the Cabinet Secretary for Environment, Climate Change, and Forestry. Could the Cabinet Secretary explain the reasons behind the depletion of rivers, including the number of permanent rivers that have dried up in the country over the past 4 years, and the plans by the ministry to address and mitigate the situations? Question 2, enumerate the entities and groups that discharge their affluent in the rivers, along with the number of private dams constructed in the last 2 years, and the policy statement outlining the penalties imposed on such entities for negative actions. Number 3.